A lot of customers call us and ask us, am I crazy? Am I the only one in the Bay Area to remove a swimming pool? And let me assure you, you are not. If you've ever owned a swimming pool, you understand how expensive it is. Water, chemicals, maintenance, upkeep, and that's not even talking about if the pool needs to be remodeled. Making the decision about removing a swimming pool, there's a lot of other things that may factor into that. One is if you're selling a house, sometimes the pool is unwanted and it may or may not affect property values. Also, we get a lot of customers who call in who are looking at houses to buy. And they've seen a couple houses, they really like them, but they have swimming pools. It's really not that big of a deal to remove the swimming pool, and you can have the house you want, you can get rid of the pool, and you're not just stuck with that old pool. Safety. Sometimes young families are buying a new home and they look out there at the pool and go, oh, you know, we're just afraid. We got young kids and we don't want this pool here. Some people are just sick and tired of doing the chemicals. You know, they don't want to pay a pool service company, so every day they're out there sweeping their pool, putting new chemicals in, and sometimes that just gets old. You know, and lastly, sometimes pools just outlive their purpose. Families bought houses with pools when their children were small and their kids are grown and now nobody uses the pool, and they're looking out into this space in their backyard that's taken up with this gigantic pool, and they're asking, what do we do here? And there's a lot of options. Sometimes people just put in grass. They haven't had an area they can use and now they do. They put in grass for their kids. Sometimes a very in-depth landscaping, barbecue units. Sometimes people are tearing pools out so they can put tiny homes in, ADUs, and believe it or not, a lot of people tear pools out so they can put a brand new pool in that same space, new, improved, and sometimes that new pool will increase their property value depending on what they're doing. So depending on your future plans for your backyard, there's a lot of different ways you can take a pool out, but there's kind of three main options in removing your swimming pool. Your first option in removing your pool is what we call option one, and that's probably the simplest, fastest, cheapest option. What we do is we come in, remove the water out of the pool, break the swimming pool floor. And the reason we break the floor is so that any water, future water that gets into the pool cavity has somewhere to go and it percolates down through that hole. And then we backfill the cavity with whatever the fill material happens to be. It could be soil, could be rock, depending on what you're going to do with the area. And then once we're done with the pool filled in, you have a space there. Now, this space looks like the old pool typically. You have the pool concrete decking around that's still there, and you've got dirt up to the top, and you have kind of a new little garden area that's in the shape of the pool. And that may or may not work for you as far as how the design of your backyard is, but that's what we call option one, which is the simplest, least expensive option. So your second option in removing a pool is to actually break the walls of the pool down. So in option one, we didn't break the walls, but in option two, we do. We come in, we break the floor of the pool, then we break the walls down, and all that broken material goes into the pool cavity. Now, why would you want to do that versus option one? The difference is when you bury that material, it's 3 feet under the ground, and you can do whatever you want in the backyard because that material is buried deep. Now, as far as the permitting is concerned, that is stated that the pool is buried under the ground, but it's like starting over and starting from scratch. You can run new irrigation, you can pour concrete without having to worry about those walls of the pool still being in place. Still have some limitations as far as what can be done in that space, but all of those are addressed with option three, a complete removal. And that's exactly like it sounds. We come in, we remove the pool from the site, demolish all the material, everything is taken away, nothing is left, and then we backfill the cavity with soil. There's a few other things that are involved with a complete removal as far as the cities and counties are concerned. We have to provide engineering reports showing that we've compacted that material correctly. But once we're done, the lot is cleared for any future use, which may be new ADU, a tiny home, a home addition, a new swimming pool also is an option. Those things can be done because the pool has been completely removed. And then the other thing is, nobody ever has to deal with it again. You don't have buried material in your backyard. So those are the three main options for removing your swimming pool. So whether you do any version of a partial removal or a complete removal, Lassiter Excavating has removed thousands of pools in the Bay Area. We've worked with every city, county, jurisdiction, and we understand the permitting and engineering processes. Whatever option you go with, we'll take your project from start to finish.